Hey guys, looking for new fighting games to play in 2025? Then you've come to the right place. We're kicking off the list with Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, the long-awaited return of SNK's fighting game franchise, marking the first main series release in 26 years. City of the Wolves promises to revive the series with a new combat system called Rev System, which adds new offensive options and increases the intensity of fights. The game offers two control schemes, arcade style for more experienced players, and smart style for beginners, ensuring an accessible experience for all skill levels. In addition to the traditional fighting mode, City of the Wolves includes a single-player story mode called Episodes of Southtown. In this mode, players embark on an RPG adventure, facing challenges in different fighting conditions, gaining XP and rewards.
Watch your feet!
If you're not unbreakable, you must have a weak point! Now for the truth!
The announcement of Virtua Fighter 6 at the Game Awards 2024 re-energized fighting game fans worldwide. After a prolonged hiatus, the franchise that revolutionized 3D fighting games is back with a promise of stunning graphics and enhanced gameplay. The release of Virtua Fighter 6 coincides with a challenging time for 3D fighting games. The genre is dominated by Tekken, while other titles like Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur face difficulties. Virtua Fighter never achieved the same success in the West as Tekken and Dead or Alive, and Sega hopes that Ryu Gotoku Studio can replicate the success it had with the Yakuza series. Virtua Fighter is an iconic franchise that helped define the 3D fighting game genre. Virtua Fighter 6 has the potential to revive the franchise and attract a new generation of players. Brawlers of the West is a physics-based third-person fighting game set in the American West. The game is described as a realistic fighting game with a physics system that affects damage and combat. Combat in Brawlers of the West is heavily influenced by physics. The damage you inflict depends on the timing of your punches, your character's position, and the force of the impact. You can also block your opponent's attacks, but if you don't position your character correctly, a punch can hit you. The game's environment can be used to your advantage. There are various objects in the saloon, such as bottles, chairs, and tables, that can be used to attack your opponents. You can grab glass bottles and swing them or throw them at your enemies. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is a highly anticipated compilation of classic fighting games developed and published by Capcom, scheduled for release on May 16, 2025. The collection offers various features for novice players, such as adjustable difficulty levels, a special move button, and training modes. Some games have received updates such as new stage visuals, optional soundtracks, including nostalgic remixes from other Capcom and SNK titles, and playable characters previously inaccessible. Producer Shuhei Matsumoto, in an interview with IGN during EVO 2024, highlighted the goal of bringing Capcom's vast fighting catalog to modern platforms, reaching both nostalgic fans and a new generation of players. He also suggested interest in future collaborations with SNK, which could pave the way for new projects.
Rocket, baby. Are you okay? Next location is Osaka.
UltraBoxing, VR boxing, is a virtual reality boxing simulator that promises an immersive and realistic experience. The game utilizes a state-of-the-art motion capture system to create realistic animations, with movements and punches that mimic those of professional boxers. UltraBoxing, VR boxing, is designed to provide an authentic boxing experience in VR, standing out for its ultra-realistic artificial intelligence, advanced combat mechanics, and support for mixed reality modes. The game is aimed at both boxing enthusiasts and those seeking a fun and effective way to exercise. The opponents in the game have fluid movements, solid defenses, and advanced dodging mechanics, making each fight challenging and strategic. The AI is designed to mimic human behaviors, such as facial reactions, anger, pain, or smiles, and realistic boxing tactics. XSXS is Riot Games' new fighting game, which has been in development since 2019, previously known as Project L. The game is a 2v2 team fighting game where players can choose from various League of Legends champions to battle in exciting matches. XSXS is a strategic fighting game where players need to use combos and tactics to defeat their opponents. The game features an enhancement system that allows players to customize their champion's gameplay, making them more powerful or adapting them to different playstyles. Players choose two characters, a point, primary, and an assist, secondary, and can switch between them during the fight using a tag system. This adds strategy, as synergy between characters is essential. There are 3 main attack buttons, light, medium, and heavy, and special moves are executed with simple direction and button combinations, making the game more accessible compared to other fighting titles that require complex commands.
Time to throw down.
HYPERFIGHT 2 is the sequel to the original HYPERFIGHT game, known for its fast-paced and dynamic fighting style. This new title promises to take the experience to a new level, introducing innovative combat mechanics and a new variety of characters, both new and fan favorites. One of the most striking features of HYPERFIGHT 2 is the absence of blocking, which means players must be agile and strategic in their movements to avoid attacks. The game also features a unique gauge system, which adds an extra layer of strategy to combat. With expanded movesets and more offensive and defensive options, players will have more freedom to develop their fighting style. HYPERFIGHT 2 appears to be an interesting addition to the fighting game genre, especially for those who appreciate fast-paced and strategic combat. If you're a fan of fighting games or looking for something new to play, this title could be a great choice.
Rising fist! Rising fist! Blazing one more! Stay there! Out of my way! Blazing ray! Turn to that.
Hunter x Hunter, Nen x Impact, is the first large-scale fighting game based on the famous Hunter x Hunter manga and anime created by Yoshihiro Togashi. Developed by Aiding, known for games like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and published by Bushiroad Games in Japan, with Arc System Works handling international publishing. The game promises to bring the intense action and iconic characters of the series to fans in a 2D fighting format with 3 vs 3 team battles. Originally planned for 2024, the release was postponed to 2025. The production team justified the delay by implementing rollback netcode, an essential system to reduce lag in online matches, ensuring a smoother experience, a decision well received by the fighting game community. Joltt Battle Pillars is a unique 2D fighting game that pits mages in a magical duel where the goal is not to deplete the opponent's health but to knock them off their pillar. Developed by Rablo Games, the game is scheduled for release on Steam in 2025. The game was originally conceived in 2015 and has been in development for almost 10 years. Joltt Battle Pillars features a unique gameplay mechanic that sets it apart from other 2D fighting games. Instead of depleting the opponent's health, the goal is to knock them off their pillar. The game does not have blocking, so players must dodge, evade, counterattack, and use mind games to win. The controls are simple, with each move being executed with a single button press, sometimes combined with a direction. This makes the game accessible to players of all skill levels. Joltt Battle Pillars appears to be a unique and interesting 2D fighting game that will surely attract players of all skill levels. Brawlygon is an arena fighting game with an RPG twist, set in a vibrant and colorful fantasy world. The game's main focus is on 1 vs 1 or 2 vs 2 arena battles, where players use a variety of attacks and abilities to defeat their opponents. The game features a complex combat system with combos, counterattacks, and special moves, requiring skill and strategy from players. Players can customize their characters with different equipment, abilities, and talents, allowing for a variety of playstyles. The game features a diverse cast of playable characters, each with their own unique abilities, fighting styles, and stories.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get
Iron Saga VS is a 2D fighting game based on the popular mobile game Iron Saga. Developed and published by Game Duchy, it promises to deliver a mech combat experience, allowing players to control a variety of giant robots in intense battles. Iron Saga Versus also offers the possibility to compete against other players, which can be a great way to have fun with friends or even with your girlfriend, if she also enjoys fighting games and mechs. Iron Saga Versus promises to deliver an interesting experience for fans of mechs and fighting games, combining high-quality 2D graphics, dynamic combat mechanics, and a mix of original characters from the Iron Saga series with iconic mechs from classic anime franchises. The game utilizes rollback network code to ensure smooth online gameplay, an essential feature for multiplayer competitions. Combo Devils is a platform fighting game being developed by Punkzilla, a promising independent studio. It's in development for PC, via Steam, and is described as an evolution of the platform-based fighting game genre, combining elements of traditional fighting games, like Marvel vs. Capcom and BlazBlue, with platform fighter mechanics, like Super Smash Bros. Combo Devils aims to deliver an experience that balances accessibility for casual players with technical depth for hardcore fighting genre enthusiasts. It's designed to reward creativity and dedication with a stylish and fluid combat system. The game's movement is similar to other fast-paced platform games, making the learning curve smoother for experienced players. Five Force Fighters is a 2D fighting game developed by the brother duo Love Creed and Light Creed, known as Kaizen Creed. The game is described as a fast-paced and intense fighting game with a diverse cast of characters and an engaging story to accompany all the action. Five Force Fighters features a unique combat system called Freedom Fighter, which offers universal offensive and defensive options, providing a unique gameplay experience. The combat system is designed to be easy to learn, but with enough depth for experienced players. Five Force Fighters has the potential to stand out among indie fighting games due to its innovative combat system and unique visual style. However, it faces challenges typical of independent projects, the need to compete with established titles. Project Shikai is a first-person multiplayer arena fighting game developed and published by the No-Host team. It promises to combine fast-paced and competitive anime-inspired combat with the strategic depth typical of traditional fighting games. The game stands out for its unique approach to the fighting genre, bringing a first-person perspective, something less common compared to traditional third-person fighting games. Players engage in fast-paced PvP, player-versus-player duels, focusing on close combat skills. The combat system combines expressive movement, strategic resource management, and visceral anime-style action. The game's visuals and feel are heavily influenced by anime, with stylized combat reminiscent of action and fighting series. This includes elements like swords, magic, and fantasy themes. Metal Revolution is a fighting game developed by Next Studios and published by Guitarcade, a division of Yuzu Games. It stands out for bringing a modern approach to the fighting game genre, combining simplified controls with deep mechanics and a cyberpunk visual theme centered on robots. The game aims to attract both casual players and genre veterans, offering an accessible experience but with tactical depth. Unlike traditional games like Street Fighter or The King of Fighters, which require complex combinations, Metal Revolution uses a minimalist system. There are few attack buttons, usually 2, plus buttons for dodging and jumping, allowing newcomers to jump into the action quickly, while creative combos keep veterans interested. The game introduces a unique blocking and parry system, which allows you to reverse unfavorable situations. This adds a strategic layer to matches.
Quem por último e melhor.
Trajes Fatais, Suits of Fate, is a 2D fighting game in development by the Brazilian studio Onanime Studio, with a proposal that combines nostalgic pixel art and mechanics inspired by classics from the 90s and 2000s, such as The King of Fighters, Street Fighter, and Guilty Gear. The plot of Trajes Fatais Suits of Fate takes place during a costume party, where a mysterious entity grants powers to the guests based on the clothes they are wearing. These characters, now endowed with special abilities, are trapped in a magical barrier and forced to fight in a cosmic tournament to win their freedom. The plot mixes fantasy with Brazilian cultural elements, which is reflected in the characters and setting. The game uses 4 attack buttons, 2 for normal attacks, weak and strong, and 2 for special attacks, cosmic powers. This simplifies the execution of moves compared to complex commands like half circle plus punch, but allows for elaborate combos. Resistance 204X is a 2D fighting game developed by Yaga Studio with a unique approach that combines elements of classic games like Street Fighter and Nidhogg. It's being designed to be accessible to both beginners and fighting game enthusiasts, with simple but strategic mechanics and an emphasis on fast-paced and fun gameplay. Resistance 204X is described as the best game to introduce fighting games to your friends who don't play fighting games. The proposal is to simplify the traditional fighting game experience, eliminating the need for long training sessions to master complex combos. The game incorporates platforms that add a vertical dimension to combat, allowing for strategic positioning to gain an advantage over the opponent. The goal of the game is to defeat the opponent and cross the finish line at the end of the stage. Players can win through knockout, guard break, or by using strategic plays like throws, pokes, and cross-ups. Shattered is a 2D fighting game in development by Team 18K, an independent team composed of Dutch fighting game and game design enthusiasts. Shattered is a 2D fighting game that seeks to pay homage to 90s classics like Street Fighter II Super Turbo and the early titles in the King of Fighters series. It's described as a shattering revitalization of fighting games from that era, focusing on traditional mechanics like footsies, positioning and space control gameplay, and constant pressure on the opponent. Unlike many modern fighting games that adopt a Japanese anime-style visual, Shattered opts for an aesthetic inspired by European and American comics. The art is done in low-resolution pixel art, evoking 90s nostalgia, but with detailed and high-quality animations. This style seeks to differentiate the game in the indie fighting scene, offering a unique visual that combines fantasy and science fiction elements. BLEACH Rebirth of Souls is a 3D fighting game with action elements that focuses on intense sword-based combat, reflecting the series' signature style. The game promises exciting battles where players can control famous characters from BLEACH and use their unique Zanpakuto abilities to defeat opponents. The combat system is designed to be dynamic, with the possibility of turning the tide even in desperate situations, unlocking new forms and powers in the heat of battle. The main storyline covers the initial arcs of the BLEACH story, starting with the substitute Soul Reaper arc, where Ichigo Kurosaki takes on the role of Soul Reaper, to the Arrancar arc, culminating in the battle against Sosuke Aizen. Additionally, the game includes a mode called Secret Story, which offers original stories and character development, exploring moments that shaped their personalities and were not fully detailed in the main narrative. Knockoff is a 2D fighting game developed by Mechagodora, an indie team from the Dominican Republic. The game combines classic mechanics from titles like Street Fighter with a unique premise. The characters are action figures that come to life, fighting each other in a setting that evokes childhood nostalgia. The central idea is to recreate the epic battles that many children imagined while playing with their toys, turning this into a dynamic and creative fighting game. The main setting appears to be a boys' room, full of references to pop culture icons from the 80s and 90s, such as classic toys and Easter eggs that refer to that era. The aesthetic is heavily inspired by stop-motion animation, giving the characters and scenery a distinctive look reminiscent of productions like Toy Story or classic animated films with dolls. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.